time. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. 5 days straight, no rest, oh well. I don't need no scale. I've been on my, I don't need no help. Always getting money, rains, no sleep. Every day I work my thumb. I don't get to take off. A hater get up. I'm ready like lift off. I never been nowhere, but I'm ready to stay gone. Nothing ever lasts long. I'm always beating the odds. Taking all these trips, I had to go and get a passport. I'm just trying to live, I don't know what deep.
I'm the coach.
Okay, Coach, it is always a celebration here in New Orleans, and we are just outside of the French Quarter at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the San Francisco 49ers and the New Orleans Saints. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. Oh, the hurdle. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. 49ers taking the field. Jimmy Garoppolo, there he is, has his team off to a 7-0 start. Week 8 thumping of the Panthers, 51-13. Now, Garoppolo's numbers weren't big in that game, but they didn't have to be because they had the big lead. He threw for 175 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Well, what he has going for him is a heck of a run game. Almost doesn't matter who's carrying the ball. I know Matt Breida hurt an ankle in this ball game, but Tevin Coleman, the acquisition from Atlanta in the offseason, he's a big get, and they run the football very effectively, and the defense makes a lot of things stand up. So he hasn't had to put up the big numbers. That's going to be the next test for him. If he gets into a game where it has to be a shootout, is Jimmy Garoppolo up to the task? Many think that he is.
They did pick up Emmanuel Sanders to try to help out the passing game, and he scored in his debut in that victory over Carolina. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Second down, McKinnon. Sheds a second man.
He's building up some momentum, isn't he?
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, 22. By the way, the final Sunday in October every year is called National Tight End Day. And for George Kittle, he had a pretty good National Tight End Day in Week 8. 6 catches, 86 yards. Also got to meet his boyhood hero who was at the game, and that's Brett Favre. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 13 yards there and a Niner first. Inside the red zone, it's Garoppolo. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there. And his first carry, he loses the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Well, he's not the starter coming in, getting his first carry off the bench. That's not the way to earn more carries.
You have to stay in the game, even if you're not on the field, right? Stay mentally sharp, stay ready. And above all, when you get into the game, hold on to the football. Don't let the other team have it.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Running with Kamara. And Kamara has it stripped. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
Tell me I didn't just see these first 2 possessions. I mean, is this one of those cases of anything you can do, I can do
better?
Maybe not better, huh?
Worse?
Yeah, just a little bit. Very sloppy start. I think maybe a case of the nerves from both teams.
And now we're back to an even playing field. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Marcus Davenport there to take him down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
That was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is third down. Play fake there to Coleman. Now Garoppolo. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Was a kicker from that distance, 56, 57 yards. So many things you got to worry about, but I am a little surprised he didn't get it there.
Yeah, with the way kickers are nowadays, we're surprised anything under 65 that it doesn't get at least to the crossbar. But remember this, you have to...
Through an opening, and there he goes. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, 54 yards. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards, as he'll get this only back to the 20. San Francisco coming back out here offensively, and it gives us a chance to revisit that 7-0 start that they've had. Maybe their most impressive of the 7 wins was this past week, Week 8, 51-13, as we talked about earlier, over Carolina. I just don't know, you look at this division, and it's a very good division, but I don't know that anybody can keep pace with San Francisco.
And I know that we look at them on the defensive side, and rightly so, as one of the dominant teams in the league. They've proven that. But their offense, head coach Kyle Shanahan, he is terrific as a play caller and play designer. They put up the most points in one game since December of 1993 against Carolina. Tevin Coleman goes for 4 touchdowns. I know he had 3 of them in the first half. Let's go. Now they go to Arizona on Halloween night, a Thursday night game. Then 3 home games. Seattle, Arizona again, and then a huge game with Green Bay coming to town.
Yeah, so we're going to get a lot of things sorted out in that division in the next. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And they hit the home run last drive. 1 play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description, because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. The Pro Bowler Michael Thomas was the intended receiver, but now it'll be 3rd down. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 17 there, and a New Orleans 1st down.
There are a lot of tough routes to try and cover. When you see a runner come out of the backfield and run this angle route, looks like they're going to the flat, and then they put their foot in the ground and cut back sharply inside. Not easily covered, and then when they catch it, good momentum built up by them as well.
And able to pick up the 1st. From just shy of midfield, Breeze, and he fires one incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas, and it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Breeze. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jason Verrett, and he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. Well, we have a moment here after that incompletion, with it being Halloween week. Let's do something Halloween-themed. Give me your 3 scariest defenses in the NFL.
Ooh, I love your theme. I like that.
Corny as ever.
Yeah, corny but good. All right, let's start with the Minnesota Vikings, because their ability to mix and match, how cohesive they are as a veteran unit, and big-time playmakers at every level. And Harrison Smith, the fixer, the guy can go up and down, backwards and forwards, and make plays for you. Number 2.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Marcus Davenport, the first rounder out of UTSA, with a sack. After the sack on first down, Garoppolo give the sack to David Onyemata, the product of Nigeria by way of Canada.
21.
They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. Garoppolo to throw for it on 4th. Oh, he's going to look end zone here for Pettis. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Kamara. Tackle that time by Jarquiski Tartt. 95-56. On second down, Kamara. Kamara's got the first down and then some. And finally brought down at the 43. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout. That's their second, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back. So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
From the 40 now on second down. Breeze. This is complete to Michael Thomas. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be. Two minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. To throw is Breeze. That'll be complete to Cook. 14 yards is the pickup, first down New Orleans.
Jared Cook is a guy who's been around the NFL. He's been with the Titans, the Rams, the Packers. In the last 2 years in Oakland, now he makes a move to the Big Easy, where he pairs with Drew Brees and forms a nice little threat.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Brees on the draw, gives to Kamara. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Escaping the ball comes out, and this is going to kick out of bounds. Boy, a fortunate bounce or two there. They'll keep possession back inside the 10-yard line. On fourth down, off goes Drew Brees, and on comes the Saints kicker, Will Lutz, for the field goal attempt. And Lutz's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So they've put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And you're under a minute to go in the half. The first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Garoppolo, a final shot here before half. That's complete to a speedy wideout Goodwin. So we have reached halftime with our score. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. This will be fielded at the 8. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Let's go!
Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. On the ground, this is Kamara. Still going, and he's got some space here. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. And the drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage.
Here we go.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up. Well, remember, Tevin Coleman was in the two-headed backfield in Atlanta during his 4 years there, along with Devontae Freeman. Now he joins a crowded backfield in San Francisco. But in Atlanta, he played under offensive coordinator Kyle Shanahan, and then, of course, Shanahan becomes a 49er head coach, and he made it a point to go out and snag his... And now nothing but green ahead of him. The 20, 10, and he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Tevin Coleman, 79 yards. And the 49ers make some inroads here on that deficit. And that was a 3rd and medium situation. Thought they might pass it. They ran it, and they're glad they did.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. That's a surprise to me that they ran the ball in that situation. Usually you worry about trying to get that kind of yardage on the ground against NFL defenses. Instead, they crossed them up. That took a little fortitude to make that call. And, boy, it matched up really, really well. The element of surprise plus some excellent execution, off he goes.
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 24. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And all the way down to the 29. A big play there out of Kamara. 47 yards. So you got the lead here in the second half. Obviously, you love big runs like that at any time. Here you really like them.
And how about the confidence that's being exhibited by that offense now? They don't care what you're lining up doing on the defensive side. They want the big fella to carry the football and carry it often.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Here's Kamara, try to run for it. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Into the red zone, it's Breeze. Flush to his right. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. He was trying to hit Thomas that time, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Terrific coverage in the end zone that time. Forced him out of the pocket to his right. I thought maybe try and run it there, but no one came open for him. Nice job by the defense of not getting out of their lanes.
Gets it to Meredith, complete. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. 7th play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8.
I got you, boy. I got you, boy.
Now Breeze. Eluding the pressure right. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not.
Like the footwork back there. I thought you did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
There's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. Flushed out right. And I think the ball's out. And this is picked up by the Saints.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit and in this case, lose the football?
Should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
They run it again with Kamara, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. And the pressure gets to Breeze as he's taken down. Credit the sack to Fred Warner. Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. Back now here live in New Orleans, as we've got the final quarter upon us. We get ready to start the fourth. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Good word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
They fights him off, but in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. The sack coming from defensive end Cameron Jordan. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout. That's going to leave them with just one remaining here in this fourth quarter. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Incomplete. A hat tip to P.J. Williams there defensively, making sure that one didn't find its target.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. And he's taken down here by the Saints. David Onyemata picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Garoppolo going to go on 4th down. He's going to air one out. And that is incomplete. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. So a risky move that does not pay off. And, Charles, you take it from the defensive perspective. And he loses the football a second time. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. He's at the 50, 30, 20. And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. You know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
Gold with the extra point, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. Fairly short kick, taken at the 14 here. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it. As we come up on the Red Sea parts, and there he goes. Touchdown, New Orleans. Jared Cook. 66 yards. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Charles, that was a heck of a play.
It truly was, because when he made that catch, he had to shake through some people, right? So that play, to me, a highlight film that should be accompanied by bass music, right? I mean, boom, 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 and he finds his way to the end zone. Terrific play.
Breeze now to throw. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complimentary football?
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by a former first-round pick, Patrick Robinson. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Again, it's Kamara. And oh my goodness, he loses it again. The Saints on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Now Breeze. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker, defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. They'll run. This is Kamara. And Kamara has it stripped. And he'll... take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A 12... yard touchdown run. And the Saints take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash in for 6.
Well, that was not quite the holy roller, partner. That was San Diego, Oakland. You might remember that in 1978, right? Kenny Stabler, forward fumble. Dave Casper falls on the end zone. Oakland beats him on the last play of the game. But that was a live football. And what a nice job he did to fall on in the end zone. And yes, indeed, folks, that's a touchdown.
By the way, John Madden was coaching in that holy roller game, wasn't he?
He certainly was, and he wanted to make sure that the call went his team's way was out on the field and was told, yes, it's a touchdown. Now get back on the sidelines.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had a victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one, but let's face it.
A big seam, and he might go all the way. Past the 20. And he'll be down deep into New Orleans territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 65 yards. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. They'll run with Coleman on 1st down. He will push his way down to about the 14. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard. They will run again with Coleman. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. David Onyemata able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his third sack of the afternoon. They'll run it with Coleman. And he is going absolutely nowhere, in the wrong direction. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Saints will have the football. Back.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
You kill.
The Saints in victory formation now as they'll take the knee.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the 31-yard line.
Ready. We're waiting.
Right there. 56. We got to get the ball, D. Get the ball.
Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. On third down, here's Kamara. And I don't think Kamara got there. Looks like they stopped him short. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third. So this one a victory here for New Orleans, and they were booed.